And welcome back to another interior cleaning video. I'm going to show you the before condition. We're going to shampoo the seats and steam clean the center console and then show you the results. And remember, if you want to know all the tools and products that I use, or if you're looking to start your own detailing business, check the description box down below for those links and resources. So the door panels themselves actually weren't that bad across all four. The primary thing the customer wanted us to tend to were the seats, as they were heavily soiled across all 5 seats. Also, the center console and dashboard were pretty bad, as there was a lot of sticky residue across in the cup holders and in the rubber plastics, so that was a bit tricky to handle. And of course, just giving it a thorough vacuuming, shampooing the floor mats, and touching up the entire interior. But the main focus here were definitely the seats. And you might be asking, what caused this? Well, spilling water, leaving a window open, a drink spill, just so many things could cause these stains. And this is just pretty easy to clean up. It's just buildup of the debris that's fallen after it's raining. And surprise, surprise, you'll always see a spider around your vehicle. We see them all the time. And just some more footage of how many stains are across the interior. And this is where he actually keeps his dog. He tries to keep the dog on the yellow towel, which overall does a great job because the pet hair was solely focused on that area. So pretty good job keeping the pet hair contained in at least the front passenger side. And by the way, I want to up my video production game with you guys, so it's a lot more entertaining to watch these videos. I just purchased an A7 III, and I'll eventually start rolling this out more and more as I get more accustomed to shooting an actual S-Log and actually applying LUTs and doing everything to do to make it more entertaining. But here's just a short clip of us prepping up for the detail in slow motion. Like I said, as I gain more experience, the footage will look more cinematic, more slow-mo, more B-roll, just make it much more entertaining for you to watch. So here, just starting off, before we get started, we just want to clean the environment. So we're going to blow the leaves out of the way. That way, if wind kicks in, it's not bringing in those leaves, or when we start washing the vehicle, it's not going to just create a big old mess around us. So just take a minute or two just to blow off the leaves off the vehicle, any debris that you can, and just clean up your surrounding. So let's jump to the seat cleaning. Here, we were already halfway done with agitating the seats. We're using Super Clean diluted 10-to-1 in an IK pump sprayer with this cordless DeWalt drill brush. It makes life so much easier. No more agitating and getting tired. It's literally medium to firm pressure, and you're literally letting the brush do all the work. It makes life 100 times easier. I didn't get the pre-agitation shot for this part of the seat, but I figured I'd throw this clip in here anyways. And let me know in the comment section down below, do you prefer just to hear the noise of the generator and the machine on these clips, or would you prefer for me to put music over it? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, and now that we're back to the bottom portion of the seat, you're going to see a lot of brown nastiness and gunk, and that's just a word I use all the time now. A lot of gunk coming out those seats. The customer was very surprised that we were able to get around like 98% of all these stains out of the seats. And here's some more unnecessary slow-mo footage of us spraying the seats with super clean. And this is going to be the same process we do on all cloth material. Spray your cleaner, here we're using super clean, agitate with a brush, and then extract. Let it dry to around 80-90%, inspect your work, and touch up any areas that need attention. And as you can tell, there's a lot of sling going on, meaning we use a lot of product. So as we're using the brush, it's slinging that product everywhere else on these surfaces. So it's best to just clean the seats first, make a mess, and then clean all the other surfaces around it. In this specific detail, we actually did everything else first and then the seats last. But hey, no biggie. It's not going to be the end of the world if that happens. Just make sure you go back and touch those areas up. So let's jump over to the center console and dashboard now. On the electronics section, I'm not going to overly saturate, which for one, it's a steamer, so steam's coming out, not water. And two, I'm not going to use that as the primary cleaning source for the electronics section. I'm just using it to break up anything that I can, and I'm going to follow it back up with either a towel or a brush, depending on how dirty it is. Here, because that section there wasn't that bad, it was mostly just dust, then I could use a steamer to loosen that up, and I'm gonna follow everything else up with a brush and APC. It's just like when you're cleaning your engine bay. You can use a pressure washer, you can damage it with a pressure washer, you just need to have common sense and a little bit of skill, and you'll be okay. And you see how quickly I'm moving my hand. I'm not gonna let it sit there and just penetrate through the electronics and seep in through the back. It's a quick 1 or 2 pass, few seconds, wipe it down, and you're golden. For the vents, I use the steamer, I use a brush, and here I'm just using a towel to get any last bit of residue that I can or any dust that's still accumulated within the vents themselves. Be very careful and gentle as to not break any of the little tabs that may be around there or the actual plastic pins that create the vent itself, because they're actually very easy to break. Now on this section, it actually took me like around 10 or 12 minutes to finish everything up, because like I mentioned earlier in the video, where there was a lot of sticky residue in those cup holders and on those plastic pieces. So it took me a while to get every single last bit with the steamer and the brush itself. So here I clean a majority of it, but towards the end of the detail I still do a few more touch-ups just because I kept on seeing more, I kept on feeling the texture, and I wanted to make sure everything was out. So the steamer does help out a lot, especially when there's any type of sticky residue. It just heats it up, it loosens it up, and then you literally just come back and wipe it down. And we've made it to the end of the detail. I still touched up a few areas here on the center console and around the interior after I filmed these shots here, so just keep that in mind. But the overall interior came out very, very well, and the customer was very happy. Some of these stains were still kind of lingering. We removed around like 98-99% of the stains. Some of these seats still have a bit of moisture on them because they still needed to dry after we were touching them up. So don't worry about that. The steering wheel looking great. Floor mats came out great. And as I mentioned, the door panels weren't that bad, but they still showed a good improvement. And that's gonna wrap up this video. Again, we still touched up a few areas once I stopped recording, but the overall detail, I wanna say took like 3.5 hours, I believe. There's the before and afters. We charged $230 for the interior and $30 for a wash, which I didn't record because it was just a wash. So that's gonna end this video here. Again, please answer that question on whether you like to hear the soundtrack or just the sound of the machines and generator running when I'm extracting. Leave those in the comment section down below, and I'll see you on the next one.